Hello, my mathematicians. Today we are looking at Module 15, Lesson 1, which is all about understanding decimal multiplication patterns. Hopefully, by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to multiply decimal powers of 10 that are both greater than and less than 1. So, let's spark your learning. DNA is the genetic code that determines many of your traits. It is found rolled up inside your body's cells. Uncoiled, each strand of DNA is 71 and 0/10 inches long. This measurement is equivalent to about 1 and 8/10 meters. What is the length of 10 uncoiled DNA strands placed end to end in inches and in meters? So, the problems that we're doing are 71 and 0/10 times 10 and 1 and 8/10 times 10. When we looked at place value, we learned that each place value is 10 times that of the one to the right of it. So if we have like a place value chart, just quickly drawn one here, we would have, if we have tenths, our decimal point, ones, and hundreds, or sorry, tens. Our first number here, we would have 71.0. Then we were multiplying everything by 10, so we're going this way, times 10. So that means that when we multiply by 10, we shift over our place value. So the tenths times 10, or 0 times 10, would be 0. 1 times 10 becomes 10, so we have 110, and then 7 times 10 would go here. So we would have 710 inches. Then we have another place value chart. We have tenths again, ones, tens. So we're starting with 1 and 8/10. Multiply 8/10 by 10, that gives me 8. And 1 times 10 gives me 110. So we get 18 meters. A discount store sells all items for 98 cents each. Items can be bought in boxes of 10, 100, or 1,000. Julian wants to know how much each box will cost. So this is use the pattern to answer the question. So we have 1 times 98 hundredths equals 98 hundredths. 10 times 98 hundredths equals 9 and 8/10. 100 times 98 hundredths equals 98. 1,000 times 98 hundredths equals 980. So it says, how much will it cost to buy one box of 10 items? Well, that would be this one here. So we would have $9.80. For a box of 100 items, we would have $98. And then a box of 1,000 would be $980. So what is the value of the 9 and 98 hundredths? Well, this is in the tenths place, so it would be 9/10. Then 9 ones. Then 9 tens. and then 900ths. So which direction do the digits shift as you multiply by increasing powers of 10? So the digit is going this way, so that's the left. So the digits shift to the left. So it says, how does the shifting of the digits affect the position of the decimal point as you multiply by the increasing powers of 10? Well, as the digits shift to the left, the decimal point shifts to the right. And it says, show the movement of the decimal point in the pattern above. So it goes from here to here, and then it goes from here to here, and here to here. So we have Miss Jimny sells jump ropes on her website for $2.35 each. She sold 10 to the second power jump ropes last week. How much did she earn? Complete the pattern. Well, if we remember from back at the beginning of the school year, when we were dealing with powers of 10, we learned that the exponent tells us how many places that we are moving the decimal point or adding zeros. So 10 to the 0 power means that our number stays the same. So it's going to stay 2 and 3500ths. 10 to the first power means I am multiplying by 10, which means I'm moving the decimal point over 1 to the right. 10 to the second power would mean I'm moving over 2 to the right. Then 10 to the third power means I'm moving it over 3, but I run out of digits, so I add a 0. So B asks which equation shows 2 to the 35th power multiplied by 10 ounce. Well, we would have 10 to the first power times 2 and 3500ths equals 23 and 5/10. Write this equation using a factor of 10. This would just be 10 times 2 and 3500ths equals 23 and 5/10. How does the placement of the decimal point in the product compare to the placement in 2 and 3500ths? Well, we moved it one spot to the right, so it is one place to the right. So which equation shows 2 and 3500ths multiplied by 10 3 times? That one would be 10 to the third power times 2 and 3500ths equals 2,350. And so we would do 10 times 10 times 10 times 2 and 3500ths equals 2,350. So how does the placement of the decimal point in the product compare to its placement in 2 and 3500ths? Well, we moved it 3 places to the right. So So how much did Miss Jimmy earn last week from selling 10 to the second jump ropes? Well, that would mean we're moving it 2 places to the right. So that would give us $235. Says the first place finisher in a magazine drive raised $935 in sales. Most participants raised 1/10 of that amount. The least amount raised was 1/100th of that amount. So use the pattern to answer the questions. So we have 1 times 935 equals 935. 1/10 times 935 equals 93 and 5/10. 1/100th times 935 equals 9 and 35/100ths. So what is the value of the digit in the 5? Well, it would be 5 ones. It's in the ones place. And then 93 and 5/10, it would be in the tenths, so it would be 5/10. And then in 9 and 35/100ths, it is in the hundredths, so it would be 5/100ths. So how did the digits shift as you multiplied by 1, 1/10, and 1/100th? So the digits shift to the right 1 place for every decimal place in the factors. How does the shifting of the digits affect the position of the decimal point as multiplied by 1, 1/10, and 1/100th? The decimal point shifts to the left 1 place for every decimal place in the factors. So how much did most participants raise? So the most participants raised was, if we come back up here, most participants raised 1/10, so 1/10 would be the 93 and 5/10. So $93.50, and the least amount raised was 1/100th, so that would be $9.35. So that is all for today's lesson. Hopefully you are now able to multiply decimals by powers of 10 that are both greater than and less than 1. And remember, in order to be a math person, all you have to do is be a person and do math.